mi amigos. Yo soy Daniel. We should just do the intro, do like a 30-second intro in Spanish one day. I feel like
I don't like after my years of taking Spanish class, I don't really know any Spanish.
Yeah, I could
I don't know.
I could just use Google Translate and my Spanish 2 knowledge to put together a broken Spanish intro.
I know
Not
about.
like anyone's gonna be calling us out on it.
Yeah, I know about 2 words.
Cultural appropriation.
You're gonna be like, that's not proper Spanish. But anyway, welcome
to talk
the
Spanish.
Mobgabst.
The Mob
Mobgads.
Mobgabs.
The Mobcast.
You already
where
know
we
the
talk
deal.
about all things mob.
You already know the deal.
We talk about all things.
Everything.
Just in
There's
general.
not one thing that we don't talk about on this Mobcast.
I mean, there's plenty of things that we haven't discussed, but we're getting to it. We talk about all things.
This podcast will never end, but if it did end, by the end of it, we would have covered every topic.
Yeah. It's sort of like, it's like the longer it's around, the more there is for it. We could cover every topic there is to cover as of current date, but then, by the time we're done with it, there will be more things in existence, and then we'll have to talk about those. So it's like the longer it goes on for, the more content there is.
Facts. That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's an infinite sort of grind.
We on that grind, I mean.
The infinite grind.
Imagine grinding and knowing it's for infinity, but there's there's not going to be a payoff.
That would be the worst grind. You just have to struggle with you just hustle, but it's not for anything. It's just an eternal work.
That might be
you get nothing, literally nothing.
Slavery.
You can accomplish things, but each thing is just part of the hustle. It's I got my work done for today, but you're gonna have to return to that tomorrow. There's no promotion or anything. It just continues endlessly.
Well, now I think about it, that's just regular life for plenty of people.
Yeah.
That's just working a minimum wage job.
Well, I mean
metaphorically, but usually when people are I'm on that grind, it's sort of something outside of a 9 to 5 sort of deal.
Yeah, but
it's just weird to think about when someone's I'm hustling, so I'll have X thing by summer or whatever. There's never a summer. They're just constantly on the grind.
It's just bro, I'm grinding, and it's just you say that every time, and people are when are you gonna stop grinding? And grind never stops.
Well, actually, that sort of fits for the people who are on extreme cheapskates. They literally will do anything humanly possible to save money, but they never spend a large amount of money. It's what, again, if you're gonna cut some corners to save money, so maybe you can go on a nice vacation or build a pool in your yard or something, I can see that. But these people will cut any corners necessary. They'll do anything humanly possible to save a penny, and they never plan on spending it. It's what do you gain from it? Their eternal grind with no payoff.
It's the perpetual saving of money.
It's edging for money saving. It's they're never
but
gonna
you never
release the climate.
Because usually with edging, it's all right, it's been 24 and a half hours. You are you get to go now. But nope.
Yeah, it's the eternal edging grind of money.
We be edging that money.
This has started on a great note.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Wait, how did we even get to this topic? Oh, we on that grind.
That's just the natural flow of conversation.
Yeah.
Are you stupid or dumb?
I'm sorry.
No, a
or
mix of the three.
idiot.
Are you stupid or
Or
idiot?
stupid,
bud?
dumb, or idiot.
Are you
Mix of
stupid
all
or
four.
are you stupid and dumb idiot? Stupid, dumb idiot. You are stupid.
Well
yeah, I
said.
kind of roasted you. Right
Are
there.
you stupid or dumb or you are stupid?
You are stupid or are you dumb? You are stupid.
One is a question and one is just a statement. Just
They come together in one package.
yeah.
You get the question and the statement.
You are stupid and you are dumb.
You are stupid and are you dumb?
Yes.
You are stupid and are you dumb?
You know,
It's like I know you're
last
stupid,
time.
but are you dumb?
Yeah. It's
That's one
like
of the
last
fun
time, you know,
things.
when we were talking about which came first, the chicken or the egg sort of deal. You know, it's like, are they stupid, but are they also dumb?
Which came first, the stupid or the dumb? Deal.
Well, I mean, I feel like stupid is sort of a stronger term than dumb. So maybe it's
Yeah.
like dumb came
Stupid.
first and it's like it developed further into
Are you
stupid.
dumb, stupid.
Linguistics. Let's look into this. Linguistics, like which developed first, stupid or dumb? When did stupid start showing up in language, and when did dumb start showing up?
Oh yeah, we know that. We know the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah,
I got
we need
PhD
to.
in
We're gonna go in
linguistics.
a deep. You know, this is like a research
Mhm.
project. Now,
We
this
need
is like
yeah.
if there's a class. You know, I feel like some sort of college class, there's probably something or like a course or whatever that revolves around like the development of language. This is like our you know, like thesis statement, our writing project on the words stupid and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're developing today.
Research paper.
That's what we on.
Yeah, research
for
paper.
today. Research paper.
Reader paper.
I hate research
Me and the
papers so
boys
much.
researching paper.
Which came first?
Why the teacher tell
research
me
or
we
the
gotta
paper?
research paper, and then I got an F for researching paper. What I do wrong?
Bitch ass teacher.
Not understanding their own assignment.
You told me, ho. How you gonna get mad at me?
Yeah, you said we got a research paper, so I'm like, oh, I got a research paper.
I toned out. I tuned out at
I
research
toned
paper.
out.
You can't expect me to listen for more than that.
I
For more than
changed the
that, you
channel
crazy. For more than
at
that, no way.
research paper.
Not for more than that.
It's time for us to research paper. That would be
Bitches when?
Imagine writing a research paper about just paper and researching paper for the
I feel like
research
there's got
paper.
to be somewhat of an interesting history to it, though, when you think about it. Like the
Oh, yeah.
mediums we would use to write stuff on through history.
Yeah, there was like
They gotta be researching paper at some point.
I'm pretty sure that like the Chinese first invented like modern paper, but papyrus.
They
Like,
probably
China
invented like
kinda
the first
carried,
everything.
Yeah, exactly. China kind of carried humanity for like the first achievement of technology that we still use to this day.
All the like small technologies China was carrying hard.
All the things we like take for granted that are kind of essential, or at least were up until we had like Google Classroom and stuff like that. You know, like anything physical that we took for granted, it's like China sort of was the first to do it.
Yeah.
Like they invented cameras or something. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy, Ted.
That's crazy.
They trying to be crit. China just trying to be crit.
Trying to be quick.
China.
Now China is like hated by everybody.
I know. It's sad. Like China, man, they kind of suck.
The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster to China became. China's cray-cray levels went way down after the Industrial Revolution.
Bro,
China don't be cray.
I've heard and speaking of China, the Hong Kong protests. Are those still going? Like I feel
like they must be. Like there's no way
everyone
it's
just forgot.
resolved. Yeah, it's one of those things. Sort
Same
of
with
like
the
how
internment camps.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those things where it's like even though it's still going on, you can't really make a new headline about it. It was like it came up. Everyone was talking about the existence of it. And then there was a resurgence, like, why have we stopped talking about this? But you can't really give it a second resurgence if there's no new news. Like it's kind of just out of the news cycle. Which I guess there's sort of a sad statement on like our priorities with news also needing to be entertaining or whatever. But it's like, it is what it is. It's just sort of not something we have anything new to say about. It's like, sorry, Hong Kong.
Well, the thing is, when people were like spreading awareness about it, it's kind of like no one can do anything to China.
Yeah.
Like if the
I
U.S.
still don't
was
think it's like problematic to share those posts.
No,
I mean, though there are those accounts.
I'm just saying,
they try to gain from it, and that is a problem.
No, I'm not saying it's problematic. I'm just saying like it kind of crossed my mind, and that's why I kind of stopped. Like I never really share stuff about other countries because it's like thanks to the like it doesn't even matter like if a country is personally like socialist or whatever, but the world market or whatever is capitalist. So thanks to that like global level of capitalism, no country will do anything to a country that's like doing something like problematic if it's a powerful like trading country.
Yeah.
Like know what? That's why China is still on the map.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with whatever. The U.S. does it too.
Yeah, it's freaky though. China is scary for so many different reasons. People never take into account the Red Army, like their literal army, like how we have our soldiers and stuff. China's population is so massive that their army that's just ground based, like this isn't including their navy or anything like that, just purely their ground based army is larger than the population of the US. Like, not even larger than anyone that could possibly be drafted. Like our grandparents, your aunt, your uncle, whatever, the entire population of the US is smaller than their ground based army.
Yeah.
That's fucking not
it's so scary. Like we literally, it's one of the few cases where America can get pushed around a little bit because we don't want smoke. It's either nuclear warfare or nothing, because we can't take their navy and we definitely can't take their ground.
Yeah, we can't invade.
Yeah. We couldn't even attempt invading China. Like we'd probably lose all of our soldiers and not even put a dent in theirs.
I mean,
and
we
it's
could
not
easily cripple them by not trading, but that also cripple us.
Yeah. And it's just weird. Like, it's not even that I'm ashamed in our army or something like that. Like our military is so overfunded. It's more like sort of scary to me to think about. I don't want to go to war with China or something, but like if there was a reason to, we could only have nuclear warfare. Like their population is just so massive that we don't want smoke in any way other than like bombing and stuff, because they're like I said, their military is larger than our population. It's insane.
And the situation over there is not like if we tried to like help in any way, we would not do very much.
We out here powerless in this bitch.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, it's just such a weird system and circumstance. You know, it's like China is so much more powerful than we really take into account, because really the US is the most powerful country, but it's like when China does stuff that we don't want them to do, like the reason we haven't stopped them from literally giving North Korea like all of its essential supplies, the only reason North Korea is even a threat is because of their relationship with China. Really, the reason why we haven't stopped them is it's like, who's going to? There's not really anything you can do to China. They're so massive in every way. Like, whether or not it sucks to live there, they're still ginormous.
As big sad.
Yeah.
Big sad in this bitch.
Like, it is a blessing that we have people like Kim Jong-un in somewhere like North Korea and not China. Because even though China has a dictatorship, luckily he's somewhat cool-headed with foreign affairs. You know, like he could destroy the whole planet if he wanted to. Like he you know, it sucks to live in China for a lot of people, like probably over 1 billion people. But, you know, it like, again, he could destroy the whole world if he wanted to.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe we should stop talking about this just because I don't want my TikTok account to get deleted. Like, that would kind of suck.
Yeah. Actually, on second note, let's on second note, is that even a phrase? Yeah, that's not even a phrase.
You know, when you're preparing a song, it's like, okay, I'm gonna come in on the second note of the melody.
On this offbeat.
Yeah.
On the second note. That sounds like a Revolutionary War era term. It would be like, on the second note of this affair.
Yes.
82 note ago.
Second note. What would that be? How many years would that be? Like, we got 77
Well, I mean,
years
a note in a song could be a maximum of like 0 to like a couple seconds. Like, you would have to have a really slow song to have a note be like even 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can hold the note, but like a beat, you know, like at 128 beats per minute, it's like, what is it? It's like 60 beats per minute would be 1 beat per second. But you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to have a really slow song for second note to mean much in terms of time.
Yeah. Factuals.
That's crazy.
Unless it's just like a staccato, or not staccato, I think the opposite of staccato, like where you hold the note for a really, really long time. I can't remember what the term is, but like, I don't know. I guess a note could maybe be up to like 20 seconds or something. Like the Whitney Houston song for Titanic. That really long note she holds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what crazy. It is. It's a measurement.
The
second note is a measurement of like 25 seconds.
Yes.
I guess it's sort of arbitrary as any measurement, really, when you think about it, except for like at a molecular level.
What is a note? Does a note exist? Yo, I watched this video. I've been
Me and the boys beat notes on a molecular level.
Yeah, on a molecular level. What are you? Hold on. I'm gonna be right back.
You sort of started.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta do something.
I interrupted, but I didn't mean to like make you leave. I'm sorry. I guess I really offended him.
I guess while Devin's gone, I'm gonna just get that thought out there that it's weird. Like any measurement that isn't at like a molecular level is arbitrary. Like even though there's all those arguments like the metric system is, uh, uh, like centimeters and meters and that sort of stuff is better than like feet and inches, which is really true. It's like both even though one is superior to the other in a lot of cases, like for popular opinion at least, they're both technically arbitrary because it's like the only
Yeah.
really relevant measurement to actual length of something beyond just like a random term humans sort of developed would be like at an atomic level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really weird to think about.
I mean, like, there's arc
Oh, you're back.
seconds. Yeah, I am.
Okay, just come back unexpected like that. Doesn't. Oh.
Okay, there's arc seconds, which I'm pretty sure is a very small amount of time or small amount of length. I'm not actually sure what an arc
small
second
amount
is.
of length.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't. I feel like you're right. Arc seconds is like doesn't it have something to do with like time and space or something really trippy like that?
Yeah, because it's like light years. How long it takes for light to, or how far light travels in a year. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
It's like space time type beat.
Me and the boys. Space time.
Hop on
It's-
space time real quick.
It's space time. Where you
Is
at?
space time in space?
I was wrong. I'm
It's
pretty
space time. WYA.
I think arc second is like a degree.
Hmm.
It's the angle at which Obama farts every year.
Yo,
Well said.
arc second is a measure of like angles. It's like it's 1 degree in angle.
Hmm.
But like I'm sure light travels. The light years are really interesting to me, and for a while I just didn't get it because I was like, but year equal time, and that can't be length. But then I started like using like my brain and stuff, and I realize I've been enlightened that
Wait, what did you realize?
I realized so I didn't get how like light years correlated to distance.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
was like, oh, year equal time. But yeah,
Me when year equal time. Oh my gosh, guys.
I've been watching a bunch of like I guess science. Yeah, on YouTube. I've just been getting into a bunch of like educational stuff.
That stuff always
Yeah.
resonates with me. Like the science that I'll never apply to anything in my
Yeah.
entire life is so much more interesting to me than science that we use. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be one of those people that are like, we won't use any of the knowledge that we get in school. Like I'm not that person at all. I'm just saying like for personal enjoyment, the science that I'll never like fully understand and have anything to apply to is so much more interesting than anything I've learned in school, like in science class.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like on like those YouTube videos, they just like teach you a basic concept, like, oh, here's this cool thing. You'd have to study it for 10 years to even remotely understand how it works. But here's this thing. But then in like science class, it's like, oh, here's an equation you have to plug in 53 times, and then this is the science of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like factoids are easier for me to like. I'm having trouble speaking. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What is it where you like keep it in your brain?
Retain.
Yeah, factoids and stuff like that. Like just small bits of fact are easy for me to retain than like full concepts.
Yeah. I think that's normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, especially when people talk about sciences of like the universe and stuff, I got, for a while, I got so into that PBS series where they were talking about like heat death and stuff, like all the
Oh yeah.
most bona fide scientific theories on what will happen that will bring the universe to an end and stuff like that. They're like the Great Rip. It's just, it's so, it's crazy because it's like like kind of science fact, because it's like the most agreed upon and backed concepts of science for said thing, but it's like so crazy and out there, it sounds like science fiction. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool to me, the stuff where it's like such a foreign, like beyond our world concept, that it's science fact but sounds like a science fiction movie. Like that's always so cool to learn about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, heat death of the universe. It's like that concept is like really kind of like I don't know, like sad, but like in a
Well,
way that I can't really grasp because like
Yeah.
it's like a little bit, I don't know. For me, it's like somewhat depressing to think about.
yeah,
Like nothing really matters. But then I'm like, well, that's in like a trillion years. So
well, more than a trillion. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
well,
in
I'm
several trillion.
under. I don't know.
Understatement.
It's weird
No
because
matter what, like amount of time beyond our
yeah,
comprehension.
Yeah,
I just think it's funny that like a trillion would be like an extreme exaggeration for literally anything a person would be referring to waiting for. But for that, it's like an extreme under like estimate.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean like in the cosmic time scale, to use big words, a trillion years is like not even that much.
Speaking of
Yeah, it's so
space shit,
weird.
I hate Neil deGrasse Tyson so much. Fuck that dude. He sucks.
Bro,
I
that's
saw his
racist.
ad.
You
I
can't
saw
say
his
that.
ad for his masterclass, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
the funny thing is about knowledge is when you know enough to think you're right, but not enough to know you're wrong. And it's like, shut up. Stop speaking. You need to, please.
I know he's weird to me because like for me he's entertaining, but it
Yeah.
almost frustrates me to imagine like sitting down and having a
Yeah.
conversation with him.
He's so elitist. And
Yeah.
it's like, sure, you're smart, but you're smart in a way that realistically and like the way you use your smartness is not
Mm-hmm.
like doesn't affect anyone. Like
Yeah.
like maybe if you invented like the unbreakable condom or something, you would have the you'd have the like reputation to be arrogant. But when it's like you're just some guy who talks about science on
Mm-hmm.
TV that like a million other scientists could also cover,
Yeah.
it's like, buddy, just you don't have the level of influence to say that school shootings aren't sad because car crashes happen more often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
a
that was
not good moment.
not a good statement. And that's the thing, like like you're saying, he puts everything into numbers, and it's like, maybe an interesting idea. Like, yeah, okay, car crashes kill more people overall, but it's just weird. Like, he has to make everything a science statement when it's like sometimes there's an emotional sentiment to things. Like, there's no scientific reasoning as to why a school shooting killing hundreds of kids is more sad than like thousands of people dying in car crashes over time. But it's like, it just is more sad. One of them is like nationally recognized disaster, and one of them is an unavoidable like thing. It's like when you get
That's
into your car,
going
you could
down by
crash.
the second.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like I mean, not by the second, obviously, but like every single year, there's
Mhm.
a lesser chance for that to happen to you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially if you buy a new car.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean,
and it's
what?
like also people it's so dumb when people uh try to emphasize car crashes for any reason other than you should be responsible and safe in your car. Like I think it's really important to emphasize that you should be safe and responsible in your car, but when people use it for an argument like comparatively or something, it's dumb to me because it's like people will always be reckless with cars. Like a long time ago, when cars were an exclusive thing, like there were two cars in the state of Ohio and they crashed into each other because people like to be reckless about stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like again, I'm not saying we should drive and be reckless. I think it's important to be safe and responsible, but it's like it's a dumb argument because there's a weird fantasy with, like think about like Fast and Furious and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like cars are such an easily achievable uh, machine to go fast. There will always be things like crashing it for like a stunt or something.
Cargo zoom.
Cargo zoom. Yay.
Yo, you know that meme where it's like the person crying is like a badly drawn person
No, I
crying.
don't know the meme.
And bro, how can you not know the meme?
I do know the meme. It's like called Wojak, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know what
the
it's called.
Wojak memes.
Yeah, but it's
Wojak be like, my life be like, whoa.
Well, I think Wojak is like the name for all those sort of caricatures.
Yeah.
It's like the term of, I guess technically it'd be like an artistic style, even though it's memey. It's still technically a style.
Memes are art.
It's also generally political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Politicals. Politics. Politicals.
That's
All
sort of
of
an
it.
interesting concept to me. Like those memes, even though it's memes and some of them are dumb just to be dumb or they're literally just making a complete joke, it still counts as an artistic style. And so then, if it's making a political statement and it's in its own style of art, then technically it's an original political cartoon. Like it's sort of an interesting concept to me. Like those memes, where it's like its own artistic style and they can be applied politically or to relatable issues. It's like sort of a, like an expression, just like old media.
Yeah.
It's sort of an interesting idea.
Interessante concepante.
I don't think I've ever laughed at a political comment or a comic.
Well, I
lot
think
of them
like
are
newspaper style political comics are more supposed to be like fully a statement rather than supposed to like make fun of Joe Biden or Trump or Bernie or something like that.
I mean,
but
I've
also,
seen.
I mean, I'm definitely biased on this issue, but conservative memes are so unfunny.
Yeah. They're only funny ironically because it's like so bad,
Like there's literally irony accounts that just post regular memes from conservative meme pages.
Yeah.
Like they're
it's sort of embarrassing. Conservatives. Well, actually, I was gonna say conservatives don't win on memes, but then it sort of depends on perspective because they're the people that argue like Pepe and stuff like that. Like memes that actively talk about like calling out other political groups and stuff. definitely conservatives lose. But like memes that aren't branded politically that become associated with politics, I feel like conservatives win in that department. Like they have so many classics.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conservative, like just regular old conservative memes though, they don't go crazy.
They don't
They're
go
so
stupid.
bad.
Started on the bottom, now we way up, way up.
Started from the bottom, now we're at the bottom.
Started from the bottom, way up. Obama, then I peed.
Let's go.
Factuals. What I don't know, bro. There's not much going on. I mean, we've said this like every single episode when we've been under quarantine. Just like there's not much.
Yeah, Kim
Shit don't be
Jong-un
happening.
is still just as mysterious as ever. That's weird.
Possibly dead.
Maybe.
It's so weird that we still don't know. Like literally with what South Korea's saying, what China's saying, what America's saying, like our possibilities as far as like human life goes are endless to anything we're familiar with. Like at this moment, he could be literally dead, just in a coma, out like exercising or relaxing. Like he could be doing anything, and you know, it's like a cloud of fog. It's so mysterious. Like it looks like he's brain dead, but we don't know for sure. Like right now he could either be like being buried for a funeral, just stuck in a hospital bed, out like giving military orders, out like exercising. We have no idea.
Yeah.
He could be any state of life right now.
The fact that we have no idea of the state of this like very well-known world leader is just kind of crazy.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, obviously, I am not like a nationalist, so I don't actually like support the idea of it. But sometimes I wonder like how America would do if we just like became an isolationist nation like North Korea.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty hard, but like it wouldn't. I don't think that it could happen. But like, what if everyone just like, okay, we agreed to this. We are gonna shroud. We're gonna trade with one country, and we're gonna shroud all of our activity from the world.
I know it's a really interesting concept because it's like it's interesting both ways because people in like North Korea, they don't know what life outside of North Korea is like, and it's interesting for us to think about because we don't know what life inside North Korea is like. It's literally like it's an interesting concept both ways, whether it's foreign or your life. The opposite side of it is something that's like beyond your comprehension, really, because it's a totally foreign reality.
Yeah, it's a strange situation.
It's weird to me too because like I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, oh yeah, I can understand their struggle. Like obviously, my life is a million times better, a billion times better than an average person in North Korea. But it's like, and I'm grateful for that. But it's like I can sort of picture just like being like poor and living in sort of a like weird state, like again, it's not familiar to me, but I can sort of understand what it is. But it's weird to me to think about that like our life is sort of beyond their comprehension. Like they don't really even know what like an iPhone is like or something. Like what we do on a daily basis, you know, even for some
They
of them, like
actually,
being able to turn on the lights and stuff. Like for like a normal person, it's weird to think that so many things is sort of beyond their comprehension because it's so unfamiliar. It's like,
well, the weird thing is they do have. I watched like a documentary on North Korea, and like some guy snuck a camera in or something. I'm sure, like, I don't know. The fact that this one
wait,
random YouTuber,
what you cut out really bad, sort of. You said all I got was he snuck in.
okay, so this guy snuck in cameras supposedly, and he made a documentary on North Korea, which is a little bit. It's like, how come this has never happened before? Considering just some Russian guy was like, "I'm gonna do this one day,"
Yeah.
but it did show like. I'm pretty sure, you know, I have no way of actually like claiming this, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhat legit.
Yeah.
But like they do have iPhones going off of this thing, but it's only for like the rich people.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like being an average person there is
Yeah.
nothing like being an average American.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it's just weird to me. They have like you know, you were saying they have sort of a weird upper class deal, but it's like I was more just saying it's weird to think about being an average North Korean. It's harder to conceptualize average American life for them than it is for us to conceptualize average North Korean life. Like think about it. If you'd never, you know, if you'd never actually used like an iPhone or a MacBook or something, and I was like, oh yeah, I was just going on Snapchat, you know, like you don't
Yeah.
know what Snapchat is. You can't conceptualize it. You don't know what any app is.
Mm-hmm.
Factual.
It's funny to me. Speaking of Snapchat and like weird countries, it's funny to me that Saudi Arabia has a high Snapchat presence.
Bro, I love going on the Snap map and just pressing on Saudi Arabia. It's so weird.
And half the
Yeah.
time they're like really bad at I mean this isn't like Saudi Arabia really, just in general. They're really bad at like censoring in like non-family friendly Snapchat content from the
Yeah.
like snap maps. Like it's like people farting on lighters and stuff like that.
Yeah. But also it's so weird to me, like, you know, I'm not the person to make fun of a different culture just because it's unfamiliar. Like, you know, I don't find it funny to be like, oh, Saudi Arabia has, they speak Arabic there and Arabic sounds funny to us. Like, even though there's like Arabic irony and stuff, it's more like zooming in on Saudi Arabia on the snap maps. Like, it's literally funny. They make such weird posts, like even standing out from other countries in comparison. Like, there's a weird trend I noticed in, like, I literally picked up on it because I get entertainment from going to Saudi Arabia on Snap Maps. Like, probably one in, probably like 1 in 2, you know, like half the posts made, they put their like Bitmoji add me on Snap over the video, but it takes up like half of the screen. I love that. Like you can just go onto Saudi Arabia on Snap Maps and someone will be recording literally anything, but they'll have their like Bitmoji Snap little square thing on it taking up like a third of the screen.
Maybe that's the move though. Maybe we should all start doing that.
It's like self promotion of their Snapchat, but it's like happens in so much of a higher density in Saudi Arabia than other countries. It's really weird to me.
I
They're
mean,
just
maybe
on the way.
they're on the next wave.
The Saudi Arabian pudding. Actually, That's sort of funny because I've noticed randomly, just out of nowhere, recently more people do that. Like whenever there's something they're not focusing on in a recording, they'll put their little snap bitmoji thing over it. So maybe Saudi Arabia did create a wave.
They predicted it.
They saw it coming. They're like, we gotta hop on this before America
the
does
water's
for
kind of
trendy.
looking like it's about to rise.
Factual.
Yo, the moon looking at the water kind of funny. It's about to try something.
That would be funny if they just created the putting your snap emoji square like add me thing over videos created on Snapchat trend.
Saudi Arabia Snapchat change.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Saudi Arabia is just like such a sort of weird like situation to me. I don't know why exactly. Like, you know, again, I don't like to poke fun at a foreign place or culture just because it's foreign. Like, I don't do that. But for some reason, Saudi Arabia specifically, like, it's just so much more entertaining of a like foreign country than so many others.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I agreeness with your penis.
But it's like, I think my favorite thing is that, you know, again, I've never been to Saudi Arabia. As far as I know,
Wait, really?
Is as far as I know, it's mostly just like headlines and stuff, and maybe some of it's speculation. But any knowledge that I've gotten, supposedly their driving regulations are so bad. Like, you know, they have all the like Islam extremist women can't do this and that in place, and then they had a major progressive moment where they said women can now drive without a man's permission or a man in the car. Like a woman can just drive herself. And supposedly they didn't even really take advantage of it that much because roads are so bad. Like people like to just sit on their car and like smoke a hookah, like reaching their hand onto the steering wheel from like a roof or something.
Oh my god.
Like it's insane when you Google like or not Google, when you like YouTube search like Saudi Arabian dudes driving crazy. I don't know what buzzwords you want to put into the search, but like something, you can find all these Saudi Arabian dudes literally like sitting on the hood of their car or something, like reaching over with the steering wheel while they're like smoking a hookah on the hood or on top of the car or something. It's hilarious.
That's the new shot for any hip hop music video. Just
Saudi Arabians on the car.
And I think some of them might have been taken down by YouTube because they don't want all these American kids that use YouTube to see it and be like, oh yeah, let me try driving the car from the top of the car or something. Like, I think some of them got taken down because it's literally such bad driving practice that they're like, we don't want kids seeing this.
Get your ass out our kid-friendly app.
Like, it's, you know, like nothing gruesome ever even happens in the videos, but I think that's sort of why it gets taken down. You know, it's not even necessarily that they want it kid friendly. Like nothing bad happens, but I think that's sort of what it is. It's like, you know, they say these people doing crazy stuff on their car, just having a blast, but they never see the consequences of it.
Yeah.
They don't want nobody to get a bad influence from these Saudi Arabian men.
Yeah.
Again, this quarantine thing has me watching like weird stuff on YouTube. I saw, and then for class I had to watch this thing on, I think it was Iran. Not sure which class it was. Did you watch it?
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
Oh, because you just said yeah, like you knew what I was talking about. But
I was just sort of sort of nodding along, I guess.
okay. Well, anyways, I watched this thing and like apparently they don't have any driving laws, so people just figure it out. So that sounds kind of similar to the whole Saudi Arabia thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yo,
there's no
just like
street signs. I think there might be people who conduct traffic, but there's like no stoplights or anything like that. People just like walk through the highways and try not to get hit.
Yeah, I know that's another thing. Like I've said it a few times, but especially in like a recording or whatever, even though no one listens, like I can't stress enough. I don't want to like poke fun at another country just because or culture or whatever, just because it's foreign. Like that's not the intention. But like for real, it really seems like the Middle East sort of caught up on the development of cars, but not the legal implications.
Yeah,
Like
I
they have all the same cars and
agree.
oil and stuff, but they don't really have the legislation in place, like speed limits and stuff.
Yeah,
Like it's sort of funny to me.
yeah.
they're
That's
just like, yo, we
it's
got cars if you want
humeros.
to use them. So like,
Just don't tell. I feel like it's kind of I don't know. I don't know the statistics, but like in the clips I saw,
Mm-hmm.
people got you know, they they were so a lot more effective than like the early development of cars in the US.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Like people sort of, even though it's not necessarily, well, definitely not the safest method. Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened to my voice there, but like even though it's not like the safest method, whenever I see like, or wait, was it that dude, the like British guy that's really friendly and he like travels the world and documents it and stuff that you watched?
I don't think he's British. It's like Steve something
Oh yeah,
Europe.
Steve
Yeah,
Irwin or something, and he like
not
yeah,
Erwin, but
or not yeah, but I just had that ready, but yeah, but
it's
yeah,
cool.
I did actually watch that, so yeah, I remembered that. But it's like whenever you see something like that, it's not necessarily the most productive, like, but people evolve around it. Like people can sort of walk through
Yeah,
traffic and stuff, like whether or not it's the most productive, like people still sort of evolve around it, and it sort of like works for them even if it's not safest.
yeah.
Like it's sort of interesting.
It is. It is.
tears.
It is what it is, and
And
it
that's
ain't what it
one
ain't.
It
thing that's
is what it
interesting
is.
to me, because it's like the US has such has, what's the term, like uh uh I'm blanking, but it has like, I can't remember of what the like adjective for it is, but basically what I'm trying to say is that all our like
Either way, we about to
speeding
slide.
and
Yeah.
like all the like speed and driving practice laws, they're all sort of uniform. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for. Like across America, it's very uniform. And the laws aren't like bad or anything, but it's interesting to me, like it's so uniform. We don't really have anything else to take into mind as like a different option, because this is just what we have in place. And like I'm not even challenging our laws or something per se. Like it's just sort of interesting to me to think about. There might be something more productive, but it's like literally beyond us, because we have such a uniform system in place. Why would we think
yeah.
about what we could do differently?
Yeah.
And it's pretty effective. I'm sure there's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think honestly, the main thing we could probably do, not that this is like unheard of to most Americans, but like it's kind of overlooked and like would actually greatly reduce our traffic issues is just if we like got a lot more public transport and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Because our public transport do not hit that. It do not go hard.
That's true. I agree. And also one thing that's interesting to me, and that's sort of what I was saying, is like I think that for the most part, all our legislation and stuff for driving, for the most part it's very effective and it's always at least competent. But like one thing where I'm more saying, like something's just foreign to us, and since we have a uniform system that works, there's really no point to think outside of the box. But like one thing that we don't really do much in the US, like it's not really a very familiar concept, but it's like something that's in place other places that can benefit traffic and stuff, is like how and I mean this goes off into building regulation and stuff too, but like some places you don't ever park on the street. Like there's more parking underneath buildings, or like more parking ramps and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, think about how much more productive that would be for traffic, because that literally opens up 2 more lanes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
some real shit you just said.
Talking about public transportation reminded me of I don't know. I've heard that Minneapolis has like good public transportation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like number 11 overall rank. So I mean,
we hit that.
That's not bad, to say the least.
Yeah, we kind of go hard on public transportation, and it can be slow and like a little bit ineffective, but using the bus system is pretty nice and easy.
I agree.
Metro transit is,
but using it during the middle of the day is definitely not ideal, not because of the transportation system, but there's some interesting characters. There's some interesting have time to ride the city bus during the day. And I that sounds kind of insensitive. I know a lot of people who use public transport, especially during the day, are like going from job to job, or they don't have a lot of money, but there is a few that are not, working hard for the family.
I remember, Daniel, when you and I were like meeting up with, I think it was Henry, I'm not sure though, and we like missed, I think we missed the bus, didn't we?
Yeah, it took us a bit. I think it took us like an extra 20 minutes or something. Same thing happened when I tried to bus to going anywhere on the bus for the first time takes longer than you expected.
Yeah, but like there was one of the buses went on a loop like every 30 minutes, so you don't have to wait like an hour and a half just to get on a different
I think
bus.
it was 20 minutes actually.
Yeah, it was something like that. So that's
some of them are hourly, but like I think the busiest ones to like the big places, and there's usually at least 1 or 2 alternative buses you can take if you miss your first one. So as a city, we hit that.
Let's go rep the hometown for the public transportation.
The public transportation be hitting that.
Yeah.
Doesn't Toronto have the best public transportation in the world? I'm pretty sure that's a town or city that holds the.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure it's
in
Toronto.
the US. Bro, did I just hear a cat? Yo, that's crazy.
It's my cat.
No,
That's insane.
it's not your cat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about Toronto. I was only looking at US, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure, like, things definitely could change too. Like, Toronto could have had some sort of problem develop, or some place could have like advanced even farther ahead. But to my knowledge, I think like a few years back, I learned from some sort of factoid thing or whatever that Toronto is like pretty much universally agreed upon as the best public transit.
That's cold. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Being in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hi, Daisy.
Bro, cat be meowing. That is crazy.
She wants to contribute. She has some stuff to say about
Yo, let's
public
get the cat
transportation.
on the podcast.
Put her up to the mic.
I've got her
Podcast.
right here at the mic.
Daisy,
Podcast. More
Daisy,
like
what do you have to say?
podcat.
what have you been up to, Daisy?
Oh, now she's shy. She doesn't have anything to say anymore.
Stage fright. I get it.
Podcat.
Podcast, it can be intimidating.
Stage fright from the podcast.
Podcat.
Oh, podcasts.
Bodyguard.
Yo. Budgad.
Bodyguard.
Me and the boys be pronouncing words differently than normal for comedic effect.
There's something like weirdly entertaining about just taking a phrase and just pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, just saying it wrong like 5 times until you're on like a light year away of different subjects.
Yeah, like it develops farther away from the original each time.
Yeah. And then sometimes you just forget what you were doing. How did we end up saying these words? I do not understand.
We started talking about this was like more interesting episode for us. I feel like we sort of talked about a lot of stuff, and it's like universal too. Like it's around
it was like free flowing too. We didn't even have any topics.
It was we went on the convenience store world tour because
the universal tour.
Yeah, that's the title of this podcast. I decided it right now.
Yo, mama. Got him.
Yo.
Got your ass. Got your ass.
How long have we even been recording for? I don't know.
Hey, an hour and 15 minutes.
I think it was more like an hour and 2 minutes. So.
Let's
sure
go.
about that, bud?
Yeah, we started at 9:48.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. You can say
we
that
haven't
again.
just like hopped on Discord in forever, other than last.
That's probably
episode.
I think that's probably
I forgot that this is fun.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why we're like doing so, like we're not hitting any dry spots. Not that like I'm not suggesting we avoid each other for the sake of entertaining conversations, but I do think that's a factor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do think the Bodgat's place. We can wrap if you want, but do you guys want to stay on Discord for a bit?
Yeah,
I wanna say a couple things just to end this off, just to round it out. I've been watching a specific channel. This dude, Tom Scott. He reminds me. I mean, never mind. But yeah, he's interesting, and he
doesn't remind you.
Yeah. I would recommend his channel to anybody being bored in quarantine and just getting a craving for knowledge. Yeah.
Is that where you be learning during quarantine?
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Also, he say funny. He do the funny and make the joke.
That's sick.
I know.
This is all right. So we can We're about to head out. See y'all later.
Yeah.
See y'all
Peace.
in a different
Peace.
time.
Peace.
Peace.